lovelies, my name is Emily and I'm the creator behind EmMeMa. This year for New Year's resolution I decided to do more footage of creating the garment. So here's some footages behind the scene and I'm hoping that you guys will like it because I always love time lapses and how cool something from nothing becomes an actual product. Excuse the poor editing skills, but also it was such a struggle to find a tripod and I ended up buying a monopod by accident. It was just falling all over the place in my studio. I was holding it up and then of course my phone dies from 50% to 1% after a 15-minute video, so I just rushed to the end. Hopefully you'll still enjoy this. Hey guys, finally found a tripod. It was so difficult and so freaking expensive, but might return this later. This is my bralette that I've developed over the course of 6 months. Honestly, I feel like there's always room to improve a pattern and I just keep finding little tricks to add. So first I was opening up all my pieces, 2 pieces of self fabric, lining fabric, waistband, self fabric, lining fabric. I love to use my organic cotton from Telio. I cut elastics for all sides of the bralette so that it fits snug around the bust. This is where my monopod fell over and I didn't realize, but it kind of worked out because I was cutting my fabric on the other side. I traced out 2 straps times 2 because it's folded over, so there's going to be 4 straps. The strap that is longer is for the back side and the shorter strap is for the front side. I like to use every little bit of fabric. It often takes a lot more time cutting out all my pieces than one would think, but here's me using a little bit left sticking out. I actually love these scissors. They're from the dollar store and they're $2 as opposed to all those fancy scissors you get from Fabricland that's like, I don't know, $50, $100, because when it get dull I don't need to sharpen them, I just buy a new pair. And these actually lasted me a really long time, like probably a whole year or 2. So I highly recommend dollar store scissors. Now we're gonna start sewing. We're gonna change the thread. I'm using 100% cotton black thread. I actually just started playing with cotton thread instead of polyester. So far I haven't noticed a big difference, but I love that it's not super staticky, which makes a big difference when I'm doing 3 thread and 4 thread serging and cover stitching. And I would assume would last a lot longer than polyester thread. So here I am sewing 4 straps. So I just fold them over, right sides together, and then I run it down, back tacking at the front and the end. I feel like these straps are better without serging just because when I serge them, the thread tension isn't as strong and it kind of snaps easily when I wear the bralette. So I decided to always just straight stitch it and it's always worked well for me. And then I'm loop turning this inside out so that, or right side in, inside out, so that you get the finished strap. So times 4, and then trimming off the edges, and then sandwich the strap between the self fabric and the lining fabric, and then we're going to pin the elastics along the sides of the 2 bralette cups. Now we're pinning the back of the waistband, and I'm marking all the sides and center front, and then the back strap position as well. So we're going to start sewing again. We're going to sew the back together. I always like to pin everything in place because even though it takes a little bit of time, I find that if I don't, I end up making a mistake and then seam ripping it actually takes a lot more time than just pinning it in the beginning. So here is the, oops, my phone. Here's the tag that I use, the label, and I sew this only on the lining part of the waistband so that like when you flip it right side out that you don't see the seam on the self fabric or on the actual garment. Once the center back of the self fabric is also sewn, then we're going to pin the right sides together along the edge, and then I like to tack on my back bra strap just because I like to serge everything all together afterwards and it gives an enforcement. And now the bra cup, we ease the elastic by pulling it gently where the pinned marks are. The sandwiched strap is right there, so make sure you tack it there back and forth to make sure it's secure because there's going to be a lot of tension pulling as you wear this through the strap area. You don't want the strap to fall out, that would be no good. then the other side using the elastic in as well. I used to do this with a zigzag, but it's actually not necessary as we do an understitch afterwards that is zigzag to keep the elasticity of the elastic. And then we put them inside out, yay! And on the side of the cup I do a zigzag through both the fabric. I find that this gives the most sturdiness and less puckering, but at the center front where the elastic is a little bit less stretched out, I am able to just zigzag along the lining side, and that creates a really nice fold over so that you don't see the lining when you actually wear the bralette. This bralette version I didn't do a little loop and button at the center front. I often do this for some of my style because it's really cute, a little button, but I am just out of buttons and I personally kind of like it more v-neck. I mean, I guess it depends on what you wear with it. So here I base stitched 2 rows and then gathered it for right under the cup. So I matched this to make sure that they are even, and then I sandwiched them again between the 2 waistbands. A lot of sandwiching in my bralette making because I want it to be a really clean finish. So when you flip it all inside out, it's just as nice as right side out. So I am pinning along the waistband with the cup sandwich. I like doing this because sometimes the cup may extend or not quite reach the side seam, so I want to make sure that it's evenly distributed along the waistband and that like it's not covering way too little or way too much of the boob area. So now we're gonna start sewing all of the sandwiching together, and then I actually don't sew together the back just because you need a lot of stretch. So this is where I do the serging. Of course it was really hard to show you, but just imagine I serged all the way around with the cups sandwiched. So we are flipping everything inside out. I love to tie the bows right away because then the straps don't get caught on anything else. Then I pull out all the basting stitch that we use for the gathering, and here I am pinning the hems up for preparation of the cover stitch. I like to add a little elastic band at the center back waist just to keep it snug because you're pulling this like on and off as this is the undergarment. So I pin the elastics down and I prepare it for a cover stitch all around the hem, and we're done. Ta-da! Our final bralette.